أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا.
Of the hall, some important one of them is Amina, that is the state president of Alumni Organization of the World. The president of BC
Now, lábala àwọn ìṣàkóso náà wọ́n ti bá ti ṣàkóso ìkárí ìṣàkóso ló kúnlẹ̀ ọlọ́dà kò sáré wọn mẹ́jọ náà ṣàkóso láyé wa. Àwọn kí ìyàwó tó ń ṣe secretary alákọ̀wé fún agbègbè Ọ̀yọ́ state organization
Islam, from Professor Madu. Who is a member of the organization that is holding this program today? That is our father from the Ministry of Education for your state, normally called 72. We have provided this and then I will introduce the high table, Dr. Olajide high table. Dr. Olajide is also Oyo State Hospital Management. I used to know him of the outpatient at Oyo State Hospital. He is over there.
Now,
let me also invite to the table the scribe for the state TMC, because if we don't introduce him, I don't know a dime for what I'm doing today. And that is Alhaji Abdulaziz. Is the head. I want to remember his position. I will remember. Even if I remember at the end of the program, I will say. But what is important is the fact that is the secretary to the TMC state. Now we want to introduce we welcome here all the media. I want to remember his position. Professionals that are here present today. We also ensure that this program is properly covered and given prominence. This program is properly covered and given
the representative National Record Agency, State Director of Mr. Kolapo, who is represented by Mrs. Alawi, Mr. Kusu, and say to you the let's interview the president of Muslim Media Practitioners of Nigeria, Oyo State Chapter, and also the representative of National Director of Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Ibadan Network Center, Alhaji Muhammad Bello, represented by Ridwan, the manager, editorial department, FRCN Ibadan Network Center. Please come forward, sir. Is my team too, and is a very good colleague. He was in when I was 100 level. 400 to 100. Albarka ló mọ̀ kò. Ó ti ń sun bí ó ní bẹ́ẹ̀ bí omi. Ọlọ́lá ọlọ́wọ́lá kò wọ́tà. Nítorí àsìkò àárọ̀ tó ń sun bí ìdókòó. Ọ̀tẹ́ ìdíyẹ ti àtàlẹ́ àti ya. Ṣé ọ̀hán tó ń fi ẹni tí ìrìn àkè? Alẹ́ ni ẹ̀sẹ̀ ṣọ́lọ̀ pé nígbà tó ń sóni abala kan tí ó ti pàtàkì ní wọ́n ní ìkejì tó parí ẹ̀yìn wọ́n yóò fi wọ́n kí. Àgbà yóò ní wá sínú àlùkò. Ẹni tí ó ṣe ilé ẹgbẹ́ àwọn bàbá àgbà wọ́n ṣe àdúrà dìbò. Àbá àgbà náà ni ó ka ìwé ìka àgbà láwọn ọ̀dọ́ lọ́sọ̀ bá yóò fi olówó náà àgbà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Wùsàdà òsọ àyè ní òjò kí pé àwọn afáwọn ní kó wá ṣe àyẹ̀wò nínú Al-Qur'an. وقالت الأستاذ القارئ المقرئ الحافظ الحفيظ الدارس عبد الحفيظ عبد العزيز علي رحمه الله. Next program is Quran. I will be talking about it. Was just introduced and teacher, mentor. He has trained so many people in the account of the Quran, and then this umbrella is Al-Hajj, God, Abdul Aziz, and Marco. Allahu Akbar.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وكذلك نفصل الآيات ولتستبين سبيل المجرمين. قل إني نهيت أن أعبد الذين تدعون من دون الله. قل لا أتبع أهواءكم قد ضللت إذا وما أنا من المهتدين. قل إني على بينة من ربي وكذبتم به. ما عندي ما تستعجلون به. إن الحكم إلا لله يقص الحق وهو خير الفاصلين. قل لو أن عندي ما تستعجلون به لما تستعجلون به وبينكم والله أعلم بالظالمين. وعنده مفاتح الغيب لا يعلمها إلا هو ويعلم هو البحر ولا حبة ولا رطب ولا يابس إلا ولا يابس إلى عذاب مبين وهو الذي يتوفاكم بالليل ويعلم ما جرحتم بالنهار ثم يبعثكم فيه مسمى ثم إليه بما وهو القاهر فوق عباده ويرسل جاء لكم يرسلنا ثم إلى الله مولاكم الحق لا له وهو أحسن كل من يدعونه تضرعا وخفية لئن كان لنكونن من الشاكرين قل الله ينجيكم منها ومن كل كرب ثم أنتم تشركون قل هو القادر على أن يبعث عليكم عذابا من فوقكم أو من تحت أرجلكم أو يلبسكم شيعا ويذيق بعضكم بأس بعض انظر كيف نصرف الآيات لعلهم يفقهون وكذب به قومك وهو الحق قل لست عليكم بوكيل لكل نبأ مستقر وسوف تعلمون. صدق الله.
كبر الله.
الله أكبر.
كبر الله.
الله أكبر.
جزا الله القارئ والمستمعين خير الجزاء.
That was the recitation from the glorious Quran. Usually we do a translation, but because of our time today, we will leave it as it is. The Arabic version of the Quran is the Quran. Those translations are just for people to understand what is in it, for people who don't understand Arabic. So we are pleasing to the Quran as it is, and as it was revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we'll go on and proceed to the next item on the schedule of our program.
Nàbẹ̀ tí ó kàn nísìnyí, ó náà ní kí a gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ àpilẹ̀kọ láti ẹnu olórí wa ní TMC ní gbogbo Ọ̀yọ́ State. Látara bẹ́ẹ̀, a máa pè síwájú wálí fún TMC gbogbo Ọ̀yọ́ State lápapọ̀. That is number 1 citizen, Alhaji Engineer Daoud Oladosu. Bismillah.
Next is the opening speech of the coordinator of TMC Oyo State, to be delivered by Alhaji Engineer Daoud Oladosu. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الصلاة والسلام على حبيبنا المصطفى محمد بن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله الطاهرين الطيبين وصحابته أجمعين وتابع إحسان إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the worlds. May His peace and blessings be upon the noblest of mankind, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household, companions, and those who follow in his footsteps to the day of reckoning. Amen. I have the honor and pleasure to greet the good people of our great country, Nigeria, on the occasion of our 68th anniversary. I greet everyone, irrespective of tongue, tribe, and religion. We should be proud and happy of our fatherland because it is the wish of the Almighty to place us in this geographic location. And there's no other place we can actually call our own. Let the young and the old, the rich and the poor, and the males and the females have the hope and confidence that a brighter future lies ahead of us. We need to give thanks to Almighty that Nigeria is witnessing a 68th anniversary as an undivided nation under democratic governance. This is proof that the labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. Even as we work to serve with heart and mind, now to create one nation bound in freedom, peace, and unity. The theme for this year's annual state lecture, balancing between atheism and science in a world ravaged by pandemic diseases, constantly captures the essence of the challenges faced by the nation at the present time. Nigeria has certainly experienced a mixed bag of fortunes. We have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. Our economy, infrastructure, and security have had setbacks that we have to continue to deal with as a people. This is as a result of leadership inadequacies and the lack of vision by the followers. We are just gradually easing out of the restrictions occasioned by the worldwide coronavirus pandemic, which has caused untold trauma on the side of the people and continued to wipe away the livelihood of millions of people all over the world, and especially in Nigeria. But we must give thanks to the Almighty for being alive to witness this day. The coronavirus pandemic has issued us an unpalatable scorecard regarding the state of our economy, infrastructural development, and security architecture. It simply means that both the leaders and the led have a lot of work to do in order to create a society that is responsive and responsible enough to protect us in normal and abnormal times. We urge our people in elective offices to eschew corruption and focus on development of the nation by implementing people-oriented policies and projects for the collective benefit of all. We ordinary people to be patriotic and to have the progress of the nation at heart. There is a huge debate going on in the nation regarding the removal of subsidy on petrol and electricity. It's a necessary debate that must be viewed dispassionately. The subsidy is supposed to benefit the poor, but unfortunately, it is the rich that are smiling to the banks at the expense of the poor. The fight against corruption. The fight against corruption in the oil industry has yielded little dividends. The need to build more refineries has failed over the years. What then can the nation do in order to continue to waste about 1 trillion naira yearly in the name of petrol subsidy. The only difficult but necessary things to do is to remove subsidy and allow the regulation of the downstream sector of the oil industry. This way, it is hoped that the needed investment in the industry will be realized, leading to the creation of more jobs for the people. We can then take the government to task regarding the savings from the subsidy removal, which can be used to fund more infrastructure development and also expand the social intervention program to provide support for more people. That is the honorable way to go, rather than further worsening the already poor economy by embarking on labor strikes that have benefit to nobody other than the subsidy collecting petrol importer. It's so that nobody can confidently say that this Nigeria of this day, everyone desires a better country where everything works and life is comfortable, enjoyable and abundant. Nigeria is facing many challenges that make life difficult and hard for our citizens. But that is not to say that there are no rays of sunshine in the dark sky. It is definitely not all gloom. This is why I'm appealing to all people with separatist ideas and agenda to not lose hope in the country by calling for secession. What makes Nigeria great are the diversity of our human and material resources and the vast geographical expanse. Once these are deep through secession, the greatness is as well immediately diminished. No one part of the breakaway regions can ever be as great as undivided Nigeria can be when it finally blossoms. Let us act on the spur of the moment to take decisions that we will later regret in the future. Once which posterity will never forgive us. Let us remain an indivisible nation, a nation where we learn to understand and manage our differences, a nation where we continue to work on our flaws, a nation where we continue to strengthen our potential. 60 years is not so long, too long in the life of a nation. Most of the nations that we compare ours with are a century to 2 centuries old. But that is not to say that we cannot achieve so much development in a short period of time. This is not the time for a Biafran nation. This is certainly not the time for an Oduduwa nation. This is rather the time to collectively work for a greater and prosperous indivisible nation that will benefit all and sundry. We want Nigeria to continue to move faster toward democratic ideals that will bring prosperity to our nation. We commend the INEC, the President of the Federal Republic, and the politicians that have ensured that they play by the rules in allowing the wills of the people. Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Kabirullah.
Allahu Akbar.
Allah.
Allahu Akbar.
That was the speech of the Wali the state coordinator of the Muslim Congress TMC or your state. He has spoken on various issues that affect Nigeria and provide solutions to some of them. Some of the highlights of his speech is one, to have confidence in the nationhood of Nigeria, no secessive ideas. Kí gbogbo wa kí á ní àgbọ́kàlé nínú orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà wípé yóò jọ̀kan, yóò sì máa wà lọ́kan títí láéláé, yóò sì làmìlaka. Bákan náà, ó ní pé ìṣòro wa òun ni àwọn olórí tá a yàn sípò, ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo wa àtolórí àtọmọlẹ́yìn la ní ojúṣe láti ṣe láti rí pé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ó dúró déédéé. Nínú ẹ̀ òun ní pé gbogbo aká nífẹ̀ẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí, tí ò bá ti ń ṣèfẹ́ ara wa la ní, orílẹ̀-èdè ó máa tẹ̀síwájú. Bákan náà, òun ní pé ọ̀rọ̀ owó sọ́bsidì wọ́n tún mẹ́nu bà. Wọ́n ní kò tí ì ṣe àǹfààní bí ẹ kó ṣe fún àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù, olówó náà ni ó ń ṣàǹfààní fún. Kàkà bẹ́ẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ kí àwọn aládàáni kí káwọn náà dókòwò pẹ̀lú iléeṣẹ́ epo, kí á wá mú owó sọ́bsidì ká fi ṣe àwọn tí ń jẹ aráàlú níyà bí omi, bí iná, bí ẹ̀kọ́ tó múnádóko àti ètò ìlera tí ó ṣàǹfààní. Bákan náà, ó ní pé gbogbo wa là ń jẹ̀ràn kan láti gbòǹgbẹ orílẹ̀-èdè tí ó dáa ní ìlú tí a wà yìí. Látàrí bẹ́ẹ̀, bá a ṣe ń jẹ̀ràn yìí, bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn kan tún ń yọ igi iná tá à ń kò tó ti fẹ́ máa jó ni wọ́n tún yọ kúrò ná. Wọ́n sọ pé ẹja pín. Wọ́n ní gbogbo ẹ tó bá ń pèpè sí Biafra àbọ̀ pèpè Odùduwà nation, wọ́n ní kì í ṣara wa ní Nàìjíríà o, pé kí a má gbọ́wọ́, ká má gbé wọn ní ìgbọ̀wọ́. Níparí, wọ́n ní àwọn àjọ elétò ìdìbò INEC pé wọ́n lù wọ́n ní ọ̀gọ́ ẹnu, àti ìjọba àpapọ̀ náà pẹ̀lú àwọn olóṣèlú pẹ̀lú ìgbìyànjú tí wọ́n ṣe tí ó fi jẹ́ pé ìfẹ́ aráàlú ó rinlẹ̀ ní ibi ìbò tí wọ́n ti kọjá ní Ẹdó. Wọ́n á pè àsákèsí pé ẹjá dé tí bẹ̀rẹ̀ jẹ́ o, àwọn tí a gbé wá lónìí wọ́n kájú ẹ̀, wọ́n sì dáńtọ́ láti fi wá mọ̀nà lórí àwọn ìṣòro tí orílẹ̀-èdè tí ó ń kojú. That is that on the opening remark of the value of the TMC Oyo State. Thank you.
Jazakumullahu khairan. Torí àsìkò, ká máa lọ sí ètò tí ó kàn. Òun náà ni keynote speech. Ọ̀rọ̀ àpilẹ̀kọ ayéẹ̀kọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Èyí tí àwọn bàbá wa tí wọ́n bá ní bá wa sọ. Àwọn bàbá tí wọ́n jẹ́ executive secretary fún Muslim Ummah of Southwestern Nigeria. Bàbá tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ tàpọ́nlé dárúkọ wọn, Professor Muslihu Tóyìn Yahya Kabirullah. Allahu Akbar.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. The Amir of TMC, the Wali, of TMC, the lecturers for today, the distinguished guests invited here, my dear brothers and sisters here, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To start with, one small correction I want to make, just to say that the middle name is Tayo and not Toyi. But all of them start with C anyway. Thank you very much indeed. I'm to give what we call this keynote address. The keynote speech here is going to be, I'm just going to talk to some of the points that I put down here on the theme of this year's lecture. And I'm very sure from what I can see from the topics of the two lectures that we're going to have, that the lecturers will do justice to it. But my assignment here is to just lay the background from which they are going to speak. What is the environment that provides the background for their lectures? The theme of the lecture is balancing between atheism and science in a world ravaged by pandemic diseases.
When we hear the word atheism, what does it mean? It means the lack of belief in the existence of God. Saying there is nothing like God. It's just the world is just there. It came by chance. It came by some kind of theory, and therefore everybody will come, will go, and that is the end. As the Quran puts it, in here illa hayatuna dunya namutu wa nahya wa ma yuhlikuna illa dahr. It's just this world. Those who will die. Those who will live, and it is time that we just see the end of us. That is the thinking of some people. But Almighty Allah, the creator of the universe, has shown us so many things that proves that one wrong. That is certainly not so. So atheism is to say they have a doubt in the existence of God. Now, if we want to now balance between what we call atheism and science, where do they relate? What is the relationship between them? Well, the relationship between them is probably that the atheist, the person who doesn't believe that God exists, wants to say maybe only science can explain how we came to be, why we're going to live and die, what causes death, what is just something, it is the body, it expires. And when the time comes, it goes. And this explanation will probably not have a time limit. Some will die young, some will die old, when they meet whatever will kill them or something like that. But that is not the essence of religion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who creates the world and man, has special pattern, has special plan for humanity. And he does a few things. Number one, he sets the pattern for us, then he gives man something that he did not give other creatures. Allah that created man, created also animals. The animals procreate like human beings procreate. The trees live and die like human beings live and die. But Almighty Allah makes man superior to them all by giving him certain values, certain qualities that these other creatures don't have. So we now have the control of these other creatures. And if the situation is like that, because of what we want to talk about now, what is the relationship between atheism and science? If the atheists believe that it is science that can explain things and not anything magical or something like that. But you can see now, if we study the Quran properly and we study what is happening in the world today, you will now see that it is the other way around. Science is now beginning to prove the existence of Allah. There are so many things that we did not understand in the human life that we are now beginning to see. Now, when it happens, we now go back to the Quran and say, this thing that Allah says in the Quran, this is what it now means. The social media is there these days now, and there's so many things there. Some of them good, some of them not so good. I think I was looking at an ayah from somewhere, an explanation from somewhere that tried to explain that the colorful mountains that Allah describes in one of the surahs of the Quran, nobody ever knew where it existed until some people who traveled around and so on saw this thing somewhere in China. And now we now see that this thing that we have been seeing in the Quran, we don't get an explanation. Look at it here. In other words, the time is short, but I just want to mention that there are so many things that are happening now which we did not know was there, but when we understand them properly, we see it in the Quran. In other words, for the atheist, it is not science that will prove the non-existence of God, but rather it is science that will prove the existence of God. Because many things that the Quran has said, we are now seeing it. Therefore, it's there. Now, how do we relate this one to the pandemic diseases that is ravaging the world now? When that disease came, there are many theories that were flying about. Some are saying, no, it is some powers in the world that are fighting, and therefore that one was created maybe between America and China, It was created and then it was tested somewhere. And when it was tested, it's now back boomerang, and it is now, and so on and so forth. So modern scientists say, no, this pandemic is, this virus is a natural virus, and it has certain features. It's like the flu, and the flu can be quickly treated, but this one cannot be quickly, because this one spread more quickly and so on and so forth. In other words, what they are trying to say is that this one could be created by man, but some say no, it is a natural virus, and that if it is treated the way it should be treated, it can go and come, and if it is handled the way it should be handled, it may not even go. But the way it can pass between one person and another one is so rapid, and therefore that it can be devastating. That is the relationship between. But for our society now, what we want to know is to see now that because of this disease that is there now, how do we ensure that it does not affect our duty on earth? Allah created us here to come and worship Him, to come and to continue to procreate and so on and so forth. How do we not allow a pandemic like this to interrupt with the plan of Almighty Allah for humanity? So that is what I'm sure that our lecturers here will look at for us now. So we have seen now that the atheists and the scientists don't meet in seeing that science is the one that will prove the existence of God. The other way around, it is the science itself now that is now showing us in this world now that Allah is there, because there are so many things which Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we know him, an unlettered man from Arabia who did not know much of this science, anything of the sciences, could not be the author of those things that you are seeing in the Quran, that is the essence of life. I will leave the explanation of the issues to our lecturers, and I'm sure they will do justice to them. I want to thank them for being there, and I want to thank the TMC for giving me the opportunity to be here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wọ́n ti sọ fún ọ yìí láàfíà nítorí àsìkò nígbà tí wọ́n bá bàbá wa oníwà àkọ́kọ́ ìkejì gbogbo wọlé sí àárọ̀ tí wọ́n tẹ́lẹ̀ lẹ́yìn tó kankan ní ọlọ́pàá ṣe ṣe àfihàn fún ọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bàbá tí mo fi tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ dárúkọ wọn, the Grand Mufti Conference of Islamic Organizations láti ìlú Èkó,
delivered by Dr. University of Ibadan, and you can sure we are getting the out of the program for today. The first lecture is going to take place now. Audience spellbound. I'm sure we will all enjoy him as he speaks to his topic. You are seeing to the annual lecture of the Muslim Congress. The program is on now is the first lecture for today to be delivered by an scholar, a lecturer in the Department
of Arabic and Islamic Studies,
Faculty of
Faculty of
University
University of Ibadan. Both of us that are viewing on Facebook and on our dedicated website. You can see me standing, and in the moment you will begin to hear his voice. I'm sure the right person to handle the topic, and you will agree with me that it's a big catch for this kind of occasion. For